Some women didn't just stumble upon success. They've carved their own paths, faced challenges, and made their mark. But it's not just about the fancy numbers in their bank accounts. It's also about power, wealth, influence, inheritance, you name it. Let's take a peek into the world's most powerful women, Nancy Pelosi. Elected to Congress at the age of 47, Nancy Pelosi achieved the historic milestone of becoming the first woman to lead a major political party when she assumed the role of Speaker in 2007. Pelosi possesses a net worth of $120 million. In their most recent wealth disclosure, Nancy Pelosi and her husband Paul Pelosi approximated their individual net worth to be situated between $43 and $202 million. This estimation fluctuates based on factors such as real estate holdings, stock investments, and other private assets. In 2022, Pelosi made an announcement that marked the conclusion of her two-decade tenure as House Democratic leader. She conveyed her decision to step down from the position while expressing her commitment to continuing to represent her San Francisco district in Congress. That same year, Paul, Nancy's husband, made headlines by controversially trading stock in a computer chip company ahead of a scheduled congressional vote on the semiconductor industry. Nancy denied accusations that Paul had used any information she might have had to make decisions while purchasing or trading stock. Some had accused Pelosi's family of engaging in insider trading, a practice that in certain cases could be illegal, particularly if not reported. Pelosi herself had been in the spotlight for her opinion that American lawmakers should be allowed to trade stock, even if they had access to insider information. And days after Pelosi made her comments, her husband reportedly bought millions of dollars worth of call options in various tech stocks. Many of these trades were said to involve companies affected by legislative decisions made by Paul's wife. One well-timed investment allegedly earned Paul $5.3 million, as reported by Fortune. However, as previously reported by the National Desk, no evidence had been presented thus far indicating that Paul Pelosi had violated any laws. Noteworthy instances during Pelosi's second tenure as Speaker, during the term of President Donald Trump, is her announcement of impeachment hearings against the president on September 24, 2019. This is the fourth ever impeachment proceedings in U.S. history. Identifying as a lifelong Democrat, Pelosi's voting record on civil liberties earned her a 92% rating according to the American Civil Liberties Union's Congressional Scorecard. Her consistent alignment with liberal causes encompassed areas such as gun control, LGBTQ+ rights and abortion rights, while diverging from stances on topics like welfare reform and the Iraq War. A polarizing figure both within her party and the broader political landscape, she is simultaneously recognized as an astute and highly skilled politician, credited with effectively maintaining a relatively cohesive Democratic Party amidst fractures. Jacqueline Mars. With a net worth of $36.8 billion, Jacqueline "Jackie" Mars, an American heiress, investor, and philanthropist, is the 33rd richest person in the world according to Forbes. In June 2019, Forbes identified her as the richest resident in Virginia and the wealthiest woman in the history of New Jersey. Jacqueline Mars possesses an approximate one-third ownership stake in Mars, the conglomerate specializing in candy, food, and pet care. Originally established by her grandfather, Mars assumed the role of Food Product Group president upon her entry into the company, Mars Incorporated, in 1982. She dedicated nearly 2 decades of her career to the company. Her involvement persisted until her retirement in 2001, however. She maintained her board membership until 2016. The Mars family name is linked to some of the world's most renowned and beloved products, including Milky Way, Snickers, Three Musketeers, M&M's, Dove Bars, Uncle Ben's Rice, as well as Pedigree and Whiskas pet food. Within her family, her son Stephen Badger also holds a position on Mars' board of directors. Jacqueline's brother John is in possession of an estimated one-third of Mars, while the remaining share is held by the 4 daughters of her late brother Forrest Jr. Beyond her corporate involvement, Mars has contributed her expertise as a board member of the National Archives and was previously associated with the board of the Washington National Opera. Through her philanthropic endeavor, the Mars Foundation, she actively supports various causes, including contributions to the National Symphony Orchestra and support for Australian outback doctors. With a passion for horses, she holds the position of vice president within the U.S. equestrian team. On October 4, 2013, Mars was involved in a car accident on U.S. Route 50 in Aldie, close to her residence in the plains within Northern Virginia. Her vehicle crossed the center line of the highway and collided with a Chrysler minivan carrying 6 passengers. The collision resulted in the death of 1 individual at the scene, and a pregnant passenger miscarried subsequently. A witness reported that after the crash, she disclosed that she had fallen asleep while driving. Ultimately, Mars pleaded guilty to the misdemeanor charge of reckless driving but did not serve jail time. This was because Mars had a flawless driving record, and blood tests confirmed her sobriety, eliminating any possibility of alcohol or drug involvement. Law enforcement also verified her phone records, revealing no signs of texting or distracted driving. The Kardashian-Jenner women. Celebrity Net Worth reports that the Kardashian-Jenner family collectively commands a substantial wealth, surpassing $2 billion. According to Forbes, Kim Kardashian stands out as a prominent billionaire, estimated to be worth $1.2 billion, earning her status through KKW Beauty, Skims, and her multifaceted ventures. According to Bloomberg, the valuation of her shapewear line Skims surged remarkably, doubling to $3.2 billion due to a staggering 90% sales increase between 2020 and 2021. A strategic partnership with venture capital firm Imaginary Ventures and her resolute ownership have propelled Skims further, raising $207 million at $4 billion in 2023. However, Kylie Jenner's initial portrayal as a billionaire was altered by the pandemic's effect on her businesses, but her estimated net worth of around $750 million still portrays impressive financial prowess. By January 2022, Kylie achieved a significant milestone as the first woman to amass 300 million followers on Instagram. With enterprises like Kylie Cosmetics, Kylie Swim, and the eco-conscious Kylie Baby collection, she is poised to ascend to billionaire status through her strategic business pursuits. The family's matriarch, Kris Jenner, has amassed a considerable $190 million. Her role as the mastermind behind Keeping Up with the Kardashians, coupled with her position as her children's manager, secures her continuous prosperity. Kris is entitled to a 10% management share of her children's earnings, as confirmed by Forbes. Caitlyn Jenner, despite ranking fourth in wealth in the family, has involvement in television, memoir authorship, public speaking, and diverse collaborations that have fortified her position. The former Olympian also ventured into politics in 2021, but she wasn't embraced by the Republican Party. The LGBTQ community didn't rally behind her either, and her well-known family members didn't shower her with public praise as well. Kourtney Kardashian, the elder sibling, possesses a net worth of $65 million according to Celebrity Net Worth. This is accumulated through her engagement with the Kardashians, Poosh, and endorsement deals. The recent milestone of her marriage to Travis Barker augments her potential for future financial growth. The supermodel Kendall Jenner's $60 million valuation stems from her pioneering status as the highest-earning model in successive years. This substantial figure owes much to Kendall's status as the highest-earning model in both 2017 and 2018, amassing $22.5 million in the latter year, as reported by Forbes. Her endorsements, collaborations, and recent ambassadorship with L'Oréal Paris contribute to her financial stability. Khloe Kardashian's estimated wealth of $60 million emanates from her dual roles as an executive producer and star of the Kardashians. Her involvement in additional shows and her ventures, such as the Good American Denim line, underscores her business acumen. Kelly Loeffler. Initially assessed at around $500 to $800 million upon joining the U.S. Senate, Kelly Loeffler, a politician and financier, boasts a net worth of $1 billion. This made her the wealthiest Congress member, surpassing even Representative Greg Gianforte of Montana, who had an estimated net worth of approximately $635 million. Kelly married Jeffrey Sprecher in 2004, and they reside in an expansive 15,000-square-foot mansion situated in Atlanta's Tuxedo Park neighborhood. This luxurious home was reportedly acquired for $10.5 million, setting a record for the highest residential real estate transaction in Atlanta's history. Additionally, the couple possesses additional real estate assets, including 3 homes in Florida, a Chicago condominium, and an extravagant beach house in Georgia, purchased for $4.3 million. In December 2019, Kelly was appointed to the U.S. Senate by Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, succeeding Senator Johnny Isakson due to health reasons. She assumed her Senate role in 2020. Loeffler's financial affairs have been scrutinized. Since, her appointment to the Agriculture Committee upon joining the Senate raised concerns due to her connection to Intercontinental Exchange, or ICE, through stock holdings, and her husband's position as CEO. This potential conflict of interest was amplified as ICE manages exchanges regulated by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission under the purview of the Agriculture Committee. Despite leaving the Commodities Subcommittee amid criticism, Loeffler maintained her position on the full committee. Reports indicated Kelly received a $9 million compensation from ICE. The company explained that the payment was fair, as Kelly had given up equity compensation when she became a senator. In March 2020, during the COVID-19-induced stock market turmoil, U.S. Senate members who had received advanced pandemic briefings rapidly sold their stocks to avoid losses. Kelly, a newly appointed Georgia Republican senator at the time, engaged in the sale of stocks worth millions of dollars from companies that were susceptible to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, together with her husband, following their access to privileged information. Reportedly, Kelly travels the United States utilizing a private jet, specifically the Bombardier Challenger 300. Comparable aircraft of this type are estimated to range between $7 to $20 million in cost, depending on factors like age and condition. Despite the bad news, Loeffler's stock trades didn't make her much richer. She was already very wealthy. She and her husband have a stake in Intercontinental Exchange worth about $500 million. But after looking at many details, Forbes thinks they are actually worth at least $800 million at the time. Rafaela Aponte Diamant. Meet the world's richest self-made woman, Rafaela Aponte Diamant. A 78-year-old shipping magnate, Rafaela, and her husband Gianluigi witnessed a staggering $46 billion surge in their combined fortunes over the past year, propelling her to become the most prominent female founder to date. The year 2022 saw a significant transformation in the shipping sector as Switzerland-based Mediterranean Shipping Company, or MSC, surpassed the publicly traded Danish giant Maersk, securing the top spot as the world's largest container-capacity shipping line. Gianluigi and Rafaela Aponte met during a boat trip to Capri in the 1960s. Gianluigi, a ship captain, ferried tourists from Naples to nearby resorts. Rafaela, the daughter of a Swiss-based Israeli banker, eventually joined him in Geneva, where he worked as a broker. In 1970, they used a loan to buy their first ship, Patricia, launching MSC in Geneva. They grew the company by acquiring used ships and focusing on less traveled routes. They expanded into cruises with Monterey in 1988, leading to MSC Cruises' success. They also ventured into logistics and container terminals. As container shipping rates soared from 2020 to 2022, the Apontes acquired stakes in companies like Terminal Investment Limited and Login Logistica. Their biggest deal was a $6.4 billion bid for Ballora Group's African transportation operations in 2022. After 5 decades, Gianluigi and Rafaela each have a 50% stake in MSC. Gianluigi is executive chairman and Diego, their son, is president. Rafaela, although not in a formal MSC role, has significantly impacted the company's growth, as acknowledged by those who supported their early ship purchase in 1970. Her strong character has been crucial in this regard. Since 2019, the Apontes have harnessed the benefits of a pandemic-driven economic boom, substantially augmenting the fortunes of shipping dynasties globally. Their substantial wealth is predominantly tied to MSC, which, in addition to container shipping, holds MSC Cruises, Medlog, an inland cargo enterprise, and Terminal Investment Limited, a container terminal operator. The most recent evaluation places the individual net worth of Gianluigi and Rafaela at $31.2 billion each, a remarkable leap from $8.4 billion in 2022. Notably, Rafaela's 50% stake in MSC positions her as the world's wealthiest self-made woman and ranks her as the highest-rated female founder in history, securing the 43rd position on Forbes' 2023 World's Billionaires list. Out of all women billionaires, only 96 have created their wealth independently, while 241 inherited their fortunes or worked with family. Self-made women like Rafaela make up 3.6% of all billionaires, but this number has more than doubled in the last 12 years. Gina Rinehart. Gina Rinehart has secured the title of Australia's wealthiest individual for the 4th consecutive year. The 2023 Australian Financial Review's annual Rich List reveals that the executive chairperson of Hancock Prospecting holds a staggering fortune of $37.4 billion, solidifying her position as the richest person in the history of Australia. Gina amassed her riches through the iron ore industry. She inherited Hancock Prospecting, a privately owned company for mineral exploration and extraction founded by her father, Lang Hancock. She holds the position of executive chairman. The bulk of her wealth is derived from the Roy Hill mining venture, which began exporting to Asia in 2015. Beyond mining, she's the nation's second-largest cattle producer, owning various properties across Australia. Upon assuming leadership of Hancock Prospecting, the company's estimated total worth was $75 million Australian dollars, not factoring in group and contingent liabilities. Over the subsequent decade, she orchestrated the company's expansion. The surge in iron ore demand during the early 2000s 2000s led her to become a nominal billionaire in 2006. During the 2010s, Reinhart diversified her portfolio beyond mining. She invested significantly in 10 Network Holdings and Fairfax Media, though she sold her stake in the latter in 2015. However, in 2023, a trial involving Gina Reinhart, centered around billions of dollars in iron ore wealth, heard accusations of egregious fraud. A lawyer representing Reinhart's children has presented clear evidence suggesting that mining licenses were unlawfully transferred to her company, Hancock Prospecting, and a subsidiary following her father's death in 1992. The lawyer accused Reinhart of exploiting a joint venture agreement with Hamersley Iron to move mining assets against her father's intentions for her children. These actions were deemed fraudulent and orchestrated by Reinhart, leading to an increased shareholding for herself at the expense of her children. The trial also includes claims of threats and attempts to investigate the matter being thwarted. The legal battle involves Wright Prospecting and DFD Rhodes, both making claims against Reinhart's company and her children, surrounding ownership and royalties related to the Hope Downs mining complex. Reinhart's two eldest children, John Hancock and Bianca Reinhart, contend that their grandfather, Mr. Hancock, designated a share in Hope Downs to them through the family trust. The 1994 memo in which Reinhart issues a directive to deliberately deflate the value of Hancock Prospecting shares held in a family trust plays a crucial role in the allegations that have been presented in court, asserting that Reinhart was involved in fraud related to the family trust. It is said that this trial will take several months. Rihanna. Robin Rihanna Fenty, known as Rihanna, began her career as a singer and has achieved even more since. She released her first album in 2005 at 17 and has since produced 8 albums and 14 Billboard Hot 100 number ones. She's a top digital artist with 60 million albums and 215 million digital tracks sold. Rihanna's net worth is approximately $1.4 billion as of February 2023. Her cosmetics company, Fenty Beauty, has contributed significantly to her wealth. In 2022, she was ranked 21st on Forbes' list of America's richest self-made women and became one of the youngest female billionaires. Rihanna has expanded her accomplishments to include CEO, businesswoman, and billionaire over a span of less than 2 decades. Starting with her debut single Pon de Replay in 2005, Rihanna released 8 studio albums up until 2016's Anti. These ventures contributed to her massive wealth. Her records label Roc Nation states she's sold over 60 million albums and an impressive 215 million digital tracks. Additionally, she's garnered 11.8 billion views and 21 Vivo certificates, making her the most viewed female artist on Vivo YouTube. Her earnings diversified as she ventured into various industries. Rihanna profited from co-headlining a tour with Eminem in 2014, pulling in over $36 million from just 6 shows. Notably, she secured lucrative tour sponsorships, including a $25 million deal with Samsung for her 2016 Anti-World Tour. Her business prowess extended to partnerships, creative collaborations, and ownership stakes. She's had creative alliances with brands like Armani, River Island, MAC Cosmetics, Dior, Balmain, Gucci, Manolo Blahnik, Louis Vuitton, CoverGirl, Chopard, and Stance. Rihanna even co-owns the streaming service Tidal and acted as Puma's creative director from 2014, designing successful clothing and shoe lines. Her Fenty Beauty line, launched in 2017, earned $100 million within 40 days, and Forbes estimates its worth at $2.8 billion. She expanded the beauty line to over 1,300 Ulta stores. In 2018, her inclusive lingerie line, Savage X Fenty, garnered immense praise, reaching a $1 billion valuation in the US women's underwear sector by 2021. Rihanna's ventures also encompass fragrance, with 11 releases, including her debut scent Rebel Fleur, which earned $80 million in sales. She's entered the acting realm as well, starring in films like Ocean's 8, and filed a trademark for Fenty hair, hinting at future endeavors. Despite her incredible success, she's also kept fans excited by suggesting new music might be on the horizon. Suzanne Clatton. With a net worth of $23.6 billion, Suzanne Clatton is the 69th richest person in the world today, according to Forbes. Suzanne Hannah Ursula Clatton, born on April 28, 1962, in Bad Homburg, West Germany, is a German billionaire heiress. She is the daughter of Herbert and Johanna Quandt. After obtaining a degree in business finance, Clatton began her career at the advertising agency Young and Rubicam in Frankfurt from 1981 to 1983. She furthered her education with marketing and management studies at the University of Buckingham and achieved an MBA from IMD Business School in Lausanne, specializing in advertising. Her professional journey led her to London, where she gained experience at Dresdner Bank, the Munich branch of McKinsey Consultants, and Bankhaus Reuschel & Company. She also used the name Suzanne Kant for her work. Following her father's passing, Klatten inherited his 50.1% stake in Altana, a pharmaceutical and chemicals manufacturer. She played a pivotal role in transforming Altana into a prominent corporation listed on Germany's DAX index. Despite Altana's sale of pharmaceutical activities to Nycomed in 2006 for 4.5 billion euros, Klatten remained a majority shareholder. She increased her ownership in Altana in 2009. Klatten is also a shareholder of Landa Digital Printing through Altana and Skion, both of which she fully owns. Klatten received a 12.50% stake in BMW, a German multinational manufacturer of luxury vehicles and motorcycles, from her father. After her mother's passing in 2015, her BMW stake increased to 19.2%. She and her brother, Stefan Quandt, were appointed to BMW's supervisory board in 1997. Apart from her involvement in various industries, Klatten has interests in SGL Carbon, Intrust, and several fashion and cosmetics partnerships. She played a significant role in the documentary The Silence of the Quandts, which highlighted her family's past during World War II. Klatten's personal life includes her marriage to Jan Klatten, 3 children, and participation in philanthropy and politics. In 2007, Suzanne Klatten faced a blackmail attempt from Helge Russak Skarby, a 44-year-old Swiss citizen who threatened to release compromising materials depicting an alleged affair between them. Skarby had a history of engaging in similar blackmail schemes targeting multiple women. He was apprehended in January 2009 and subsequently tried in a German court, resulting in a 6-year prison sentence. His collaborator, Italian hotel owner Ernano Barretta, accused of filming Skarby and Klatten through concealed cameras, was also arrested and later sentenced to 7 years in prison in 2012. Miriam Adelson. Miriam Adelson is an American-Israeli physician and billionaire. She pursued a career in medicine, eventually becoming the chief internist in an emergency room at Tel Aviv's Rokach or Hadassah Hospital. Following her divorce from her first husband, she joined Rockefeller University in 1986 as an associate physician specializing in drug addiction. During this time, she received guidance and collaborated with Mary Jean Creek. In 1993, she established a substance abuse center and research clinic. Later in 2000, along with her second husband, she inaugurated the Dr. Miriam and Sheldon G. Adelson Research Clinic in Las Vegas. She expressed a strong affinity for Israel, acknowledging that her heart has always been with the country and revealing that she ended up staying in the United States after meeting her husband. Following her marriage to American business magnate Sheldon Adelson in 1991, she became a significant contributor to conservative political causes in the United States and Israel. The Adelsons supported various aspects of Donald Trump's political journey, including his 2016 presidential campaign, his inauguration, his defense fund against the Mueller investigation on Russian interference, and his 2020 campaign. Miriam also holds the role of publisher for the newspaper Israel Hayom. Alongside this, she serves as a voting member on the Board of Trustees at the University of Southern California. The couple, Miriam and Sheldon Adelson, were honored with the Woodrow Wilson Award for Corporate Citizenship by the Woodrow Wilson International Center for Scholars, a part of the Smithsonian Institution, in 2008. In 2013, she received honorary citizenship of Jerusalem. Additionally, she was presented with the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Donald Trump in 2018. Known for their significant contributions to the Republican Party, both Miriam and Sheldon Adelson were GOP megadonors. Their political involvement extended to donating a substantial $180 million to Republican campaigns and political action committees during 2020. Following the passing of her husband, Sheldon Adelson, at the age of 87 in 2021, Miriam Adelson, his widow, took over the majority ownership of the gambling empire Las Vegas Sands. Sheldon Adelson had served as the CEO and chairman of the casino company. As of June 2021, Miriam Adelson holds the position of the 44th richest individual, the 5th richest woman, and the wealthiest Israeli globally. Her estimated net worth of $29.6 billion comes primarily from her majority ownership of Las Vegas Sands, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. In February 2022, Las Vegas Sands completed a sale of its assets located on the Vegas Strip, which included the Venetian Resort and the Sands Expo and Convention Center. The buyers of these assets were Apollo Global and Vici Properties, and the transaction amounted to $6.25 billion. Oprah Winfrey. As of August 2023, Oprah Gail Winfrey's wealth is estimated at $3.5 billion, solidifying her position as the wealthiest female television host in history. Oprah is a prominent American talk show host, producer, actress, and media tycoon. She is widely recognized for her highly successful talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, which holds the distinction of being the most highly rated television program ever. Referred to as the Queen of Media, Oprah Winfrey has forged collaborations with some of the entertainment industry's most accomplished figures, including TV host Ellen DeGeneres, another prominent name in the field. Born on January 29, 1954, in Kosciuszko, Mississippi, Oprah Gail Winfrey had a challenging childhood marked by sexual abuse from men connected to her mother. Later, she moved to Nashville to live with her father, Vernon. In 1971, Winfrey attended Tennessee State University, delving into television broadcasting and radio in Nashville. She secured her first job in 1976 when she hosted the TV show People Are Talking. Her major breakthrough came in 1986 with the launch of her own TV show, The Oprah Winfrey Show. The program became an enormous success and remains one of the most highly watched TV shows in history. When The Oprah Winfrey Show concluded its run, it had accumulated numerous Daytime Emmy Awards, with 9 for Outstanding Talk Show and 7 for Winfrey as Outstanding Talk Show host. The show's triumph played a pivotal role in kickstarting the television careers of Dr. Phil McGraw, Dr. Mehmet Oz, and Rachel Ray, each of whom went on to host their own talk shows. The talk show also served as the initial platform for beloved series like Oprah's Book Club and Oprah's Favorite Things. Throughout her career, Winfrey has been an inspirational figure for women and Black American women, focusing on themes like spirituality, self-improvement, and self-help. Winfrey's influence extended beyond television. She authored books that touched on spiritual matters and taking responsibility for one's life. Oprah made a significant impact on the literary world with the introduction of Oprah's Book Club as a segment on her talk show in September 1996. Her initial pick was Jacqueline Mitchell's The Deep End of the Ocean. Her selections have spanned from Toni Morrison's Song of Solomon to Cheryl Strayed's Wild, and even Michelle Obama's acclaimed 2018 memoir, Becoming. In 2008, her endorsement of Barack Obama helped him secure millions of votes in the election. Her influential book club has garnered immense recognition, and she even earned an Oscar nomination for her role in the film The Color Purple. Alice Walton. As of August 2023, Alice Walton's estimated net worth is around $60 billion. Alice Louise Walton is an American heiress, inheriting the wealth of Walmart Inc. She is the only daughter of Walmart's founder, Sam Walton, and Helen Walton. Her substantial fortune positions her as one of the most affluent women globally. Unlike her siblings, Rob and Jim, Alice has chosen to concentrate on the curation of art instead of involving herself in Walmart's operations. Due to the remarkable success of Walmart in the retail sector, her substantial net worth ranks her as the 10th wealthiest individual in America. In the earlier stages of her career, Alice Walton worked as an equity analyst and money manager. She also served as a broker for E.F. Hutton. In 1988, she established Llama Company, assuming roles as president, chairwoman, and CEO. Notably, Walton played a pioneering role as one of the initial chairs of the Northwest Arkansas Council. She also played a pivotal part in the development of the Northwest Arkansas Regional Airport. Her contributions to the airport led to the terminal being named the Alice L. Walton Terminal by the Northwest Arkansas Regional Airport Authority. After the closure of Llama Company in the late 1990s, Walton relocated to a ranch in Millsap, Texas, where she developed a significant interest in identifying promising young horses destined for cutting championships. In 2015, she put her farm up for sale and relocated to Fort Worth, Texas. Walton has engaged in multiple financial ventures and is recognized as a notable political contributor. Despite her status as one of the world's richest women, Alice lives modestly and is dedicated to philanthropic endeavors. In 2005, Walton established the Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art as a non-profit organization aimed at providing accessible cultural experiences. Her affinity for art traces back to her childhood, when she first encountered the enchantment of watercolors during family camping trips and hikes in the Ozarks. Crystal Bridges stands devoted to celebrating the American spirit in a space where art's potency harmonizes with nature's splendor, with no admission fees. The museum's art collection spans 5 centuries, encompassing American masterworks from the early colonial period to contemporary times, enriched by rotating exhibitions. In 2020, Crystal Bridges expanded its reach with the opening of The Momentary, a satellite location spotlighting contemporary visual and performing arts. The The Momentary aligns with Walton's vision of accessibility by offering free admission to all. In 2022, the Comprehensive Health Institute established by Walton in Bentonville the previous year underwent a renaming, becoming the Alice L. Walton School of Medicine. Currently, she resides on a 3,200-acre ranch in Texas, maintaining a private life focused on breeding horses that excel in racing. Julia Koch. Following the passing of her husband, billionaire industrialist David Koch, in August 2019, Julia Koch ascended the ranks of the world's wealthiest women. She, along with her 3 children, inherited a 42% stake in Koch Industries, a conglomerate co-owned by the 7th richest American. As of August 2023, her net worth is at $59.4 billion according to Forbes, which makes her the 21st richest person in the world today. Julia Margaret Flesher, born in 1962 in Iowa, USA, is the daughter of Margaret and Frederick Flesher, proprietors of a furniture store. Upon completing her education at the University of Central Arkansas, Julia relocated to New York. There, she secured a position as an assistant to renowned fashion designer Adolfo, allowing her to engage with a distinguished clientele, including former U.S. First Lady Nancy Reagan. At the age of 27, Julia's path crossed with David, her future spouse of 50, through a blind date in 1991. Interestingly, their initial encounter did not spark an instant connection. However, fate intervened when the two met again later that same year at a social gathering. Their reconnection was prompted by Julia approaching David following his close brush with death in a plane crash. Following 5 years of courtship, the couple formalized their relationship in 1996 at Koch's residence in Southampton, Long Island. She gave birth to 3 children, David Jr. and Mary Julia, who respectively attend Duke and Harvard, and John Mark, a student at a Manhattan preparatory school. Eventually, she established her presence within New York's social circles, overseeing charitable events for institutions such as the American Ballet Theatre and the American Museum of Natural History. Marking her New York Society debut, she co-chaired the Met Gala in 1997, alongside Anna Wintour and Patrick McCarthy. Julia and David once resided in a Fifth Avenue apartment that once belonged to former U.S. First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. She acquired the property in 1995 for $9.5 million, as reported by The Times. In 2004, the couple shifted their primary residence to an expansive 18-room duplex at 740 Park Avenue. Nonetheless, Julia decided to list the upscale Manhattan apartment for sale in 2022, as she reportedly dedicated more time to their other residences, an oceanfront mansion on the illustrious Billionaire Lane in the Hamptons, a 30,000-square-foot mansion in Palm Beach, Florida, and another high-value property in Aspen, Colorado. Currently, Julia holds the position of president at the David H. Koch Foundation. The foundation has contributed over $200 million to a diverse range of causes, including scientific and medical research, education, and the arts, particularly to renowned institutions like the Lincoln Center and the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Françoise Bettencourt Myers. In 2017, Françoise Bettencourt Myers inherited a 1/3 stake in L'Oréal from her mother, elevating her to the position of the world's wealthiest woman. With a net worth of $88.5 billion in 2023, this makes her the 15th richest person in the world. Myers possesses an array of real estate holdings in the region. She boasts an expansive residence in Paris, in addition to several other properties throughout the area, including Bordeaux and Lille. Her collection of vehicles is equally impressive, featuring a lavish and high-end assortment that encompasses models like the Bentley Continental, Jaguar F-Type, Porsche 911, Ferrari, and more. Myers is the granddaughter of Eugene Schuler, the founder of L'Oréal. Schuler, originally a pharmacist, revolutionized the beauty industry by creating a novel hair dye formula in 1908, which he named L'Oréal. Myers' mother, Liliane Bettencourt, inherited Schuler's entire fortune in 1957 and subsequently gained recognition as a prominent socialite. On the other hand, her father, André Bettencourt, had a notable political career in France, serving as a government minister and senator, as reported by Time. The Bettencourt family was renowned in French society for hosting lavish and exclusive events. Nevertheless, Bettencourt Myers opted for a different path, shunning the glamorous lifestyle of her socialite parents. Her inclinations leaned more towards spending her time indoors, engaging in activities such as playing the piano and writing, according to a 2017 article in Vanity Fair. However, Myers' relationship with her mother was intricate. Starting as a usual family disagreement over love, control, and money, the Bettencourt affair has grown into a major clash between mother and daughter. Playing out over 3 years, this story has fascinated and occasionally rocked France. In a lawsuit, Myers claimed that her mother's friend, François-Marie Bagnier, used their close relationship to maneuver the elderly heiress into bestowing upon him assets valued at around $1.86 billion. Myers stated that Banier's goal was to separate her mother from the family to benefit himself. Following a protracted legal battle with her sole daughter, Liliane Bettencourt, France's wealthiest woman, was eventually deemed senile by a French court. Her substantial £15.8 billion wealth has been placed under the oversight of her estranged daughter and 2 grandsons. Liliane died in 2017, and at the time of her death she was the richest woman and the 14th richest person in the world, with a net worth of $44.3 billion US. Diverging from the typical path of a billionaire heiress, Myers has concentrated on her career as an author and a member of L'Oréal's board of directors. She penned a book about the Greek gods and another offering commentary on the Bible. Are these powerful women leaving you impressed? Well, get ready for even more powerful stories. Just give that card on your screen a little click and let the inspiration continue.